This video is going to be a look at the fourth quarter touchdown pass from Lamar Jackson to Isaiah Likely in last night's 34-10 win over the Texans in Baltimore. Of course, Lamar ran for 100 yards against the Texans, many of which were on scrambles, and one designed quarterback draw that went for a 15-yard touchdown to begin the third quarter, on our first possession of the third quarter. I have the title of the video, Isaiah Likely's favorite play. It very well might be John Harbaugh's, or one of the plays that Harbaugh and Todd Monken and the rest of the offensive staff decided to hold over or keep from the Greg Roman offensive era. I actually suspect that this might be a Harbaugh play, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So this is going to be a rollout to the right where the design gets at least two blockers in front of Lamar. The Texans C run, what looks like designed run, QB sweep, if you will, and then Lamar throws the ball over the top of them. We've seen it multiple times in the past couple of years. I'm not going to show you the All-22 film because, first of all, it's not out yet, but I will show you the broadcast film in still shot mode. The Texans are not the first team to fall for this play. And, in fact, I think Derek Stingley, who you'll see defending here in a moment in the end zone, is the guy who provided the most resistance out of all the iterations we have seen of this play. I call it fake quarterback sweep. Looks like lead sweep out to the edge. Like I said, I don't want to show broadcast angle film, and so for that matter, I just demonetized the video so you guys can enjoy it. You'll notice at the beginning of the play, it's bunch A. So the formation is bunch A. You've got three guys tightly aligned to the right, running back also on the right, only one X receiver to the backside. More on that to come later, but some of you may know from some videos I've done earlier in the year, and probably other Ravens content creators as well, that bunch A is one of the formations that has the most depth under Todd Monken in 2023, meaning there's this wider variety of plays to both sides of the field, even though it's almost a 4-by-1 formation with the three guys lined up to the right and the running back on the same side. What some people may not know is that this play has been talked about a lot on social media since last night's game because it's been used in the Ravens playbook since before Monken's arrival. It predates his hiring by over two years. And what that means, I don't know. Like I said, was it a Greg Roman play? It certainly is not in widespread use in the NFL in recent years, to my knowledge. I do wonder if it's a John and maybe Jim Harbaugh play. I would be interested to know if Michigan has run something like this because there's a lot of similarities in the Ravens' offense in the last 3 or 4 years with Michigan's offense, more than some may realize. But back to the specifics of this play. Forgive the grainy nature. I had to zoom them in a little bit. Like I said, I just demonetized the video so you guys could enjoy it and hopefully add any of your observations to it. So the first time I remember it being used is in Denver in 2021. I think this is week 4. And there's some really eerie elements to this, eerily similar to last night's touchdown against the Texans. This is the first play of the fourth quarter. It's a 1st and 10 from the Broncos' 30-yard line, as you see, bunch A. It's a game that the Ravens led 17-7. Last night against the Texans, we led 17-10. And it was the second play of the fourth quarter. You'll recall this game probably. This is where Marquise Brown makes a diving touchdown catch, I think from like 54 yards out. From Lamar on a post or like a climb concept. Now, this is 22 personnel, so looks like quarterback sweep to the right. Got it kind of slowed down a little bit for you. And the Ravens had begun this possession from our own 24-yard line. This was clearly a design play, just like last night, to protect Lamar on his way out to the right. He's a right-handed quarterback. Draw people's eyes to him. And I remember talking about this in great detail that season, that all of these guys, I think this is actually Kyle Fuller here down there playing corner, the two safeties and the corner, everyone's fast flowing this. The Broncos are so heavily oriented on watching the quarterback, similar to the Dolphins this year. They got the same defensive coordinator, if you don't know, that them overreacting even at the third level doesn't surprise me. You see all the DBs coming downhill. Andrews is open. I mean, you can't get any more open than that. Lamar hits him in stride. Notice a few things from this end zone angle first. There is a hold on the left tackle here that's called, and it is a hold that negates the play, brings it back. So we end up settling for a field goal. This touchdown doesn't count. Andrews is the outside wide receiver, the number 1. Ricard is on the inside, the number 3. You can see how close the running back is to them and why I say it's really just a 4-by-1 formation. The point man, I think this is Tomlinson is going to pin down on the defensive end. Again, I can't show you all 22 and end zone angle film because it just hasn't come out yet. But the point is it creates a shield out on the edge. You've got three guys out in front, Ricard, the running back, and the right tackle, in this case Makari, who's pulled. Lamar has an easy platform to throw from. Look, he's tucked the football to make it look like he's running. Further, giving the run a look to this play, and then once he pulls up to throw, you can see the separation Andrews has. It's a great play. It might be considered one-time usage against each opponent. And what I mean by that is you probably won't run it once every game, and in fact we have not. I think there's only been 5 iterations of it since I've started trying to cover the team heavily since 2021. But what I mean is you're only going to use it against a team one time, and then they'll probably identify it from there on out. However, that's what makes the usage of it so wonderful to see. First of all, it's normally used later in a game. Here you have fourth quarter against the Broncos. Last night, fourth quarter, second play of the fourth quarter again against the Texans. After they'd been conditioned to react to typical run or pass plays. Additionally, it's bunch A. Monken runs a lot of plays from bunch A. Even if he doesn't in a particular game, you as a defensive player and a defensive coach, you have prepared for that formation. You've been conditioned for all the plays and trained for, I should say, all the plays that come out of it. Now, not every iteration is late in the game. Last year against the Saints, this is in the first quarter. Bunch A, this is a 1st and 10. You can see the bunch out here to the right. Andrews didn't play in this game, I don't believe. So Likely is the outside guy. Ricard is the number 3. He's inside. And Oliver is going to pin down on the defensive end. The running back, Ricard, and the right tackle, in this case Moses, peel out to the right, give Lamar a shield. I could be wrong, but I think every iteration of it that I've seen has the same consistency. The point man pinning down on the defensive end because he's got a great angle. Ricard is the number 3 pulling out. The running back pulling out to the edge. Moses also leading out to the edge. So you got that 3-man shield. Likely, first of all, look how strong he is. This is not play from last night, but frames up the outside linebacker with one hand, sheds him, runs through to contact by Demario Davis, runs right by another DB in the NFL, just staring in the backfield. Lamar uses a different arc on this throw to place it because he recognizes there's defenders in the area, so it's a different dynamic than the one to Andrews, where he's just absolutely wide open. This one gives you a great angle, too, of Likely playing through contact, how strong he is. I think he's only like 245 pounds. And the flow is wide here, so that's timed up with the route such that Lamar, when he gets out to the sideline, is either going to throw it or run out of bounds for a short gain or just throw the football away. This season, we've used it as well. Week 7 against the Lions. Same formation, same personnel. The only difference is Likely's not on the field, so it's 22 personnel. Kolar and Andrews is the 2 tight ends. Justice Hill, Ricard is the 2 running backs. Bunch right A. Kolar pins down because he's the point man. Andrews, the outside receiver, releases. The play side corner, which I believe is Cam Sutton. You can actually see him pre-snap. He's pointing something. Now, I'm not sure exactly what he's saying, obviously, or what he's thinking, but he thinks he recognizes something, and unfortunately for him, in this case, he actually happens to be wrong. Andrews additionally makes contact with 2 players. It almost makes me think that the design of that is intentional. So I don't know if I give you the end zone angle of this one or not. So it's Jack Campbell, the rookie linebacker that Andrews has run into, the outside shoulder, and then he'll run into Derek Barnes, the second linebacker. Very similar to what Isaiah Likely did. Again, makes me think that it's intentional. It's a great concept. I do want to mention one thing about the usage and situation last night. First of all, I think Derek Stingley played it better than anyone else has out there on the edge, but perhaps that's because he was in man. I think we ran it against the Bucs last year as well. Couldn't find that when I looked for it this morning. But in any case, an added element, I think, is the decision to call this play situationally. So, for example, think about the Texans game last night. We had scrambled Lamar for a first down early in the in the second quarter. Additionally, we had a designed run, a draw play for a touchdown on the opening possession of the third quarter. So the defense is reacting not just to the play, but to the overall flow of the game. And Lamar gaining yards, in my opinion, kind of sets this play up. Him gaining yards to keep drives going or get a first down or actually score, like I said, on the quarterback draw to open the third quarter. Also on that possession, and I want to show you guys the seventh possession drive breakdown again, is this seemingly innocuous play, the third play of the third quarter. It's a 1st and 10 from the Texans' 27-yard line. So we've already crossed midfield after a big completion to Likely, quick completion out into the left flats. It's a trips closed A. I think I have a typo there. Forgive me for that. Lamar gains 3 yards back to the tight end side. It's a lead with the running back in front. I didn't like the call at the time at all. But looking at it now, I do wonder if there's situations where the coaching staff watches film of a team's defense, notices their eye discipline or lack thereof, and then uses plays like the one I'm talking about here that lead to Lamar. It really stuck out on that drive, if you ask me. I wonder if it's a setup play for later on in the game or for usage in a particular time. Look at the play progression here. First play of the third quarter, quick throw to Aguilar, 9 yards. Second play, quick throw to Likely on an out route, I believe, against the nickel, Desmond King, for 19 yards. The fourth play, pass to Bateman on a 2nd and 7. The fifth play is the ball that's nearly intercepted by Petre in the end zone. I think that was intended for Likely. Apparently, Likely came back and said something to Lamar like, throw it up next time, which he did on the play we're talking about. I'll show you the still shots again in here in a moment. But my point is, this play, this QB lead on the third play of this possession, it's an anomaly. It doesn't fit, in my opinion. And I almost wonder if there's some checklists for the coaches such that, hey, we've got Lamar scrambling. We've got Lamar on a design touchdown run. The previous possession to this, the sixth one, that touchdown by Lamar from 15 yards out puts us up 17-10. And then this play call on this possession, I think puts us in a situation where we've set them up. I got myself mixed up there a minute ago. Lamar actually capped this drive with the 15-yard touchdown. Forgive me for that. But I wonder if there's some type of formula, checklist, or whatever, if you will, that the Ravens coaching staff knows, okay, they are set up for this one, and let's go ahead and run it. Some of this is speculation, but that play call on that seventh possession, like I said, the drive before, it just doesn't fit. I do wonder who determined to retain the usage of this play. It's the consistent situational usage of it to score that makes me wonder how involved Harbaugh was in that decision, trying to back map how professional level coaching staff decided to keep a play that they've been using since 2021, maybe as a waste of time, but that's my interest in the game. Maybe it's not yours, so forgive me for that. No matter who it was, it's probably Likely's favorite at this time because he's got at least 2 touchdowns off of it, maybe 3. I think that catch against the Bucs was not a touchdown. I think he ran out of bounds like inside the 5 or to 10. I could be wrong, but this one is really good ball placement by Lamar. Again, you got the shield nature of it out front. You can see that Likely and Stingley are locked up here together because, like I said, Stingley is man on him. So it's very possible that Stingley identified this play, knew it was coming. And then you got no one to pressure Lamar at all. Also, Moses and Ricard, look at them in relation to the line of scrimmage, not crossing the line of scrimmage at all. So very well coached and very well trained, obviously. Zeitler appears to be finishing body slamming someone, but the ball placement, Lamar puts it in a place where only Likely will see it because Stingley was all over him, and Stingley was a little bit in trail here. I don't mean like beat badly, but he was a little bit in trail, so his back was turned. And from the snap, he's making contact with Likely. And so he had dedication to his assignment, so good. I think he played it way better than these other guys, but again, it's man. So it's a little different than the other plays that we've looked at today. I really like the play. I think that it's a right-handed quarterback's play, obviously, and the earlier quarterback sweep that I talked about on the 7th possession that put us up 17-10 on that drive was ran to our left. So I do wonder sometimes if we're trying to avoid, quote, similar-looking plays that look like quarterback sweep early, and then we're going to use this later on as a one-time use thing, like I said before. You guys let me know if you, perhaps you didn't like it, but I wanted to just show the previous usages of it and how I think some of them are very similar. Even against the Lions this year in Week 7 and the Saints last year, I think Week 9 down there in New Orleans, it was near the end of drives, obviously, because we're inside the 20 or we're inside the 25 in the case of the Saints game. So the defense has been conditioned that bunch A is going to produce some typical run play or some typical pass play. There is a backside screen out of that formation, but I thought the usage of this was interesting. I wonder about how the coaches set it up, how they go about determining which teams to run it against, because you don't see it every week. I think you could see it more often. It is very interesting to me that we used it in 2021 against the Broncos, a team that's known for and very heavily invested in having their corners and safeties staring in the backfield. And then against the Saints as well, a team that, to my knowledge, was playing a lot more man-free last year, but down inside the 25, we were able to get likely clear. And then we used it against the Texans to really, I thought, punctuate a wonderful third quarter, even though it's the second play of the fourth quarter. Completely one-sided second half in the Ravens' favor. This play was just an exclamation point to a number of plays in a row where we won. 20, 25, 30 plays in a row where the Ravens offense or the Ravens defense in the third quarter won each engagement, won the battle, and just wore down a really tough, talented, and young Texans team. Appreciate you guys' time, man. Let me know what you think of the film study, even though I didn't include any video of the game from last night against the Texans. This one was a fun one for me to try to create and hopefully reveal or show to you some of the similarities for when it is utilized or called in each game. Appreciate you guys' time.